Today is Tuesday, September 30, end of the month, 2025. This is Mario with MIA Microflight. For those who have been watching my recent shorts and videos, you notice that I've been trying to bring back some of my older helicopters. I don't have my Bumblebee here. I took it into my design area where I'm revamping some of the parts in a 3D form. Most of my helicopters were done with fiberglass frames, carbon tail booms, tough landing gear, like I showed in some other videos. You can read about that, all those details in my shorts. So I'm not going to cover too much into this, except to say that I'm trying to bring back some of my older stuff that use DC motors and bring them up to speed to brushless configuration, direct drive. In the process of doing that, I stumbled on a video of this particular helicopter, and the flight that was done by the person that was doing that video. It's first of all, the guy that did this video goes by the name of RC Sailors, I believe, or something like that. I've seen him before, and I sort of trust his judgment. He's he does do flight videos, and he shows the product in operation. So I saw this little thing fly around the way he was flying it, and I go, wow, that's pretty decent, very very stable, for a toy helicopter under $100. So I decided to purchase this little guy, and not so much because I don't need another helicopter in my fleet of helicopters that I did. That I started designing back in the day. Microsoft micro palm size. So, but it is impressive to not only see the how these things are so stable these days. This one apparently uses a 6-axis gyro system, and it's got a sensor at the bottom, which I believe it's a little tiny pinhole camera that's using to gauge the height and kind of keep it hovering at a certain height. I haven't fully test flown this. I just put the battery, kind of gave it a little try, and decided to do this video. I actually did an open product video before this one. So this one is just to talk a little bit more about. I am so impressed on the not only how this flies just out of the box, but also the quality of the injection molding that is on some of these products. And I know this is probably not the only company. I'm not trying to give kudos to this particular company. I'm just saying, in general, the technologies that we have these days, with the computer control everything, that we are able to mold to this precision here. I mean, it's just the scale precision on these things is so exquisite. But more so, and this is coming from somebody that started doing some injection molding machines. I mean, I've done a lot of stuff myself because I wanted to find out early on in the game how these things work. And what better way than to dive in and do these things, build machines, do the process. So I got involved in injection molding when I started doing my Robin 280, which is the predecessor to this one here, 280 helicopter micro. Robin 280, look it up. You probably won't find too much information, but if you do find some stuff, those are little gems that are spread on the internet. So I started doing injection molding, and I totally understand that process from the bottom up, because I didn't go to classes. Nobody taught me how to do those things. I just dove in, and with some logic, I started dissecting, how these things were made, how the molds were made. Of course, I had to, revert to a lot of. I used to spend days in just looking through books in the libraries. This before the internet, so you had to really dig for this information the hard way. You just couldn't, type, give me, information on this particular subject and find it like we do these days. But so a lot of stuff, I had to learn from the bottom up, and more than anything, what gives you really good information is doing it yourself. So I did a lot of my own injection molding machines, very small machines. Then I worked up on my onto bigger machines. I modified some, to make it work for the products that I'm producing. When the MIA Robin 280 came out, and so I do understand, the intricacies of injection molding. And from somebody like me, to say that this is exquisite is, I hope that is a testament of some some good truth in there, because if you look at this, if I look at the seam lines here, they're almost invisible. You cannot you can't see a gap in there, and it's just so amazing the way these things are done so thin and so precise that even the pegs that interlock these things that allow this to hold very precise. It's just it's mind-boggling. I also work for a company that used to do scale models back in Chicago. I worked for that company for a few years, and I collected a lot of their products, mainly helicopters. So I have a lot of little scale helicopters. At this particular site, they were just scale models. They weren't flying models. And from those days, this is back in the mid '90s, to this day, to have something like this, it's just mind-boggling. Um, I hope you're somebody like me that appreciates the technology to do fun stuff like this. We should employ technologies in fun stuff. This is the kind of life that I enjoy. I enjoy number one models, and I enjoy the technology when it's applied in a positive, fun way. When technologies are applied to suppress people, suppress truth, that is just not cool. And I hope you're somebody that if you're watching this video, you'll agree with me on both respects, with respect to technology as well as the how cool this little helicopter looks and flies. I have to give it to these companies that are making these things. It's just mind-boggling. Um, I will be adding this, and I probably buy a few more of these just to keep them as collectors, because I do like to collect things, particularly helicopters and things of that nature. So this will probably go to my collection, because although it is very stable, it is not something that I would want to fly every day. I mean, I'd rather just see it on the shelf, and just because of the shape, it's one of my favorite shapes, the Bell 206. And they have some other helicopters that I've done also in scale model myself in previous years. But of course I don't have the machines or capability as these companies have to do something of this nature, to this level of precision. So I'm really impressed. So this video is about my just my point of view. Mario, once again, stay tuned for more.